Oh yeah, bam. Go hide if you wish. So yeah, just here, me with my coffee. So what it feels like to be me today is pretty happy. I love doing this. I love being with you. Pretty easy, easy space for happiness to arise for me. And for most of us, the ultimate uh, sh- reaching into the light is always motivated by the wish for happiness and its maturation, the wish for happiness of all beings. Okay, I mute everyone. Hey, sunshine.
Good morning. How are
Good
you doing
morning.
this morning?
Excellent.
Excellent.
Yes, I I'm really, I'm nearly a little embarrassed about this this cup. Mel was just sharing this profound pen. This I don't know how I ever got this cup, but it has like a cow on it.
You nicked it.
I
I'm just
nicked.
teasing you.
What did you say?
I said you nicked it.
Yeah, I did. It's like so. I've been a vegetarian since I'm 21, which is a long time ago. I'm 65. So, but it says here Meat and Provision Corporation. Okay, then. Happy coffee.
It's an ironic cup. I love it.
I had no idea. Yeah, okay. I think at some point I noticed in the past, but I forgot I had it. Okay, I'll mute everyone. Didn't I do that already? I don't know if it's working out. Hey, David. So, yeah, good morning, your amazing awakening wonders. Here we are. Um, so, as far as the eyes open practice, a lot of you have been doing that already. But so, at least whenever you meditate, open your eyes at some point a little bit. You decide, the percentage of your practice. Maybe start first with the eyes closed and later on open them, even if it's only for 1 minute at the end or whatever, for the transitionless transition. If you want to be present in life, you don't close your eyes. So, so then the gaze is, I call it the all at onceness gaze. So not particularizing. So try right now. Just open up the gaze. Just have the eyes open and see if you can put just as much emphasis on the periphery as the center, right? So our survival mechanism is always focusing, tiger, tiger, no, okay, safe. So just go into the all safeness of the heart. Everything's safe right now. Everything okay. And I remember it took me a little while, maybe not that much, like 1 week or something, or a few days of practice, just to be able to kind of stabilize that gaze. So it's more like a mosaic of colors and just modulations of light. And we know that there a lot of the practices that we are playing with is clear light mind, the interaction of luminosity and the lumen of the sun, our star, and the shining of knowing from the heart on all things. So it's all a playfulness of light. So when you open your eyes at some point today or the whole time, um, try to, when you get into your track shot practice, the letting it come and go practice, we also just we open the heart, we open, so, and then not just the all at onceness of the visual gaze, but also the all at onceness of awareness. So when awareness starts particularizing, it focuses, and it becomes attention, right? So, and then yes, in mindfulness practice, then we use attention, maybe not all of it, but like a soft attention, and rest it on an anchor, we call it, or on a gentle leash to the nowness experience, not to be distracted. But we can also just rest awareness on awareness, and so we'll play with that. So let's take a breath together, if you wish. Decontracting, just coming into the space of your body, the space of your energy, of your breath, the space of the Sangha here with us, into the home. Welcome to your home. This home where we show you the way home by realizing you never left home in the first place. So I so deeply appreciate your motivation, even eagerness to be in community in this intimate way, to recognize that we are with a group of people who are actively cultivating awareness and kindness. This is not a trivial or small thing at all. It's amazing, and I feel thankful to be with you. So I bow to all of you in gratitude. Thank you. And then, then just in this coming together, there's this shimmer of love. Let love be your beacon to the liberation from the narrative of who you think you are not. Let the intent arise for our togetherness, to awaken let's awaken to our innate primordial wisdom, no other than love, in this interconnected sea of beings. Let's take another breath. Let's really let's really feel into what it feels like to be you today. How amazing that we get to experience that. It's an incredible courageous thing to really allow all that we are to arise. Because it's not just our intensity, it's not just our life's intensity, but also the intensity of the collective history of humanity. No wonder it shimmers with so brightly. So indeed, let's start with welcoming absolutely everything that we are. Just really feel into it, you know, because we all a little bit space yogis and get spacious, the primordial hot tub, right? Blissy hot tub. But here, let's allow the all at onceness of what we are to arise in all its rainbow splendor. The all at onceness of the body mind continuum. Just the mosaic of thoughts, feelings, and shards of thoughts and emotions. Just allow it to all arise without particularizing. This overview. And then indeed, in that, when we don't particularize, then there's a relaxing of the mind, dropping and flopping, right here, right now, allowing all the raw materials of this precious moment to arise as this tender human beingness. Because so often we get lost and start chasing one intensity with another intensity, trying to suppress one thought with another thought, trying to heal one emotion with another emotion. And by pursuing this mistaken healing flow, we end up missing the opportunity to truly appreciate our heart's competence, our heart's ability to absorb, transform, and heal difficulties. And in our presencing, letting it come and go practice, We get mm, really kind heartedly, lovingly, gently intimate with what it's like to willingly allow difficulty in our minds. And we just stay with it because it arises and liberates and dissolves. And then we we allow it to come and go, and we have an open stance. Then we notice it arises and dissolves, but sometimes it lingers. So where does it arise from? Where does it linger? Where does it dissolve? And then we stay. And it's not always, and the narrative that is that it's not always enjoyable. But there is such a thing as a beneficial healing unpleasantness. And by staying courageously on this hero's path, where we stay so viscerally in the immediacy of the tenderness of all expressions of what we are, it then morphs into some kind of wholesome unpleasantness, if that's what's going on right now. And then we continue to gather more and more information and knowledge on what it's really like to be human. We stop fooling ourselves all the time because we try to tell ourselves we know what it's like to be human. But as long as we allow the ordinary egoic what about me mind to set the base narrative of what we should be like, we only continue to encounter pain and suffering. We have to surrender our ideas, what we think it's like to be human, or what we think it should be like, and all these moralistic preconceived ideas about what we're supposed to be or feel or think. Because when we encounter those difficult mind states and mind patterns, we don't only encounter the reverberation of our own life's history, but also the difficult mind states of our parents, our grandparents, all our ancestors, the harsh moralistic tendencies of tribe and culture, the archetypical pain of the collective, which clearly reverberates as the pain of the world. But when we relinquish in the letting and go-ness of our practice, this moralistic inner referee, or even moralistic dictator, we also relinquish and heal the dogmatic aggression in the collective of humanity and in the totality of this interconnected sea of beings. So we allow, but by allowing this inner referee and its harsh judgmental patterns to arise also in the coming and going, the letting all mind patterns arise and liberate by themselves, we see that even the inner dictator arises from a sweet trying to be helpful innocence. We just say softly, "Thank you. I know you wish to help." Notice that critical voice that maybe is not arising right now, but you can just feel just the shimmering in the space of the arising of that voice that always tells us not good enough. But it's actually such a sweet wish. It wishes us to excel. But you may rest now. Deep rest now. Let's take another breath. And then this becomes the practice where we learn how to discern pleasure from fulfillment. And we come to rest in the sweet innocence of our hearts. How amazing we get to free our hearts from the energies and painful fluctuations of suffering. so we may share this goodness, because we truly come to care about suffering and the suffering of others. And then from here our hearts, concentric circles of empathy, get wider and wider. And then we come to know the poignancy of grief and sadness and separateness and loneliness. And we come to know it in our most intimate recesses of the mind. And we nurture somewhat of a deep, welcoming stance of the heart and mind. And then we realize this is a multi-generational expression and practice for all us to live in a more humane and equitable world. So then we come to realize that all beings' true essence is the loving presence of spacious, ever welcoming awareness, ever welcoming of all experience. And then we realize our true essence is that open, spacious, boundless, shining space of being. The space of being and the stream of being simultaneously dancing in this openness knowingly. And then when we know this space, I remember Rupert Spira saying, when the journey to God ends, when we realize this is our space, when the journey to God ends, the journey in God begins. Because we live our life now in the space of luminous, loving awareness. Let's take one more breath before we take refuge with a couple prayers. And set our intent to awaken, really feel into that. I wish to awaken, so we all may awaken. Also let trust and confidence arise. That all elements for the awakening, for my awakening, are already present right now, right here in my heart, in my mind, in my sphere of awareness. There's absolutely nothing missing. So ready to awaken. So ready to awaken. And as they say in the Bon tradition, they say to all their yogis, you're so much closer than you think. And it's right here, right now. Your awakening, your enlightenment, right here, right now. Natural body, natural breath and energy, natural heart and mind. With the wish to free all beings, we shall always go for refuge to the Buddha, Dharma and Sangha until the attainment of full enlightenment. Enthused by wisdom and compassion, today in the Buddha's presence, regenerate the mind of enlightenment for the benefit of all beings. As long as space remains, as long as sentient beings remain, until then may we too remain and dispel the miseries of the world. May all beings possess happiness and the inner causes of happiness. May all beings be free from suffering and the inner causes of suffering. May all beings remain undivided from the sacred joy which is free from suffering. May all beings come to rest in great peace and equanimity beyond attachment and aversion to friends, enemies, or strangers. Origin yulji noob jang sam pe marge sardong pola yatsen choki nu drupne pe mai jung ne jesu drak gordu kandro mang pokor ki jesu dar drupki Jinji lap shir shek su sol Guru pe mai siri Om ahung ben zargur 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 pe mai siri the sounding, the tremor of the loving, awakened universe, the tremor of awakening. Bring awareness to the heart area. Let the shining light of awareness illuminate the entire space of the body. Let the light of awareness illuminate the space all around. With the eyes open or closed, however you wish. Gaze into the space all around from the heart. Mingle awareness with the space all around, and mingle space all around with awareness. Please notice the perpetual, ever-present, right with usness of this knowing space of awareness. Does not come and go. The recognition of it may fluctuate, but its presence is always with us, always embraced by the loving arms of Mother Awareness. Open up into the infinite spaciousness of pure beingness. Just flow out wherever you find any resistance or blockage. Just flow awareness into this limiting belief. Just being aware of being aware boundlessly. If you wish, join me for a refresh with a beautiful breath. Just even being more aware. Brighter. More aware, more by allowing than pushing. More allowing. So now you have opened up so beautifully in your boundless openness. Allow your apparent manifest beauty of being in this world to arise. May it be thoughts, may it be the feeling of the body. Some creative pensiveness, some wisdom daydreaming. Pay attention in this open awareing stance. The storehouse consciousness starts liberating itself. Whatever is arising, no matter what you tell yourself or us about it, is the arising of primordial wisdom. Indeed, like a bubble inside out, a little bubble of awareness, inside out in the ocean of awareness. Shift the orientation of awareness to the infinite, boundless openness of awareness. Dissolve the meditator or any agency at the heart, no center. Open up into every awareness. Not gazing into the field of presence and openness, but being the field of loving awareness. The space and the stream of being and all its creativity The thoughts and perceptions and emotions and the knowing of it are one beautiful whole. And if you forget you are thinking for a moment by a beautiful evocative creativity, just smile upon it and open up into the knowing. Knowing simultaneously my open, spacious awareness, my ground of being, and the dance, the playfulness, the creativity. That creativity, called Sal in Tibetan, is the ever moving playfulness of mind. And when arising in the space of knowing, all thoughts become the friend of an awakened mind. All emotions become the inspiration of healing for self and other. Thank you so much that I may feel this emotion. How beautiful. May my emotional tenderness become the healing of all that enter my realm. Just expressing our lives from this pure awareness, cleaned up of the limiting beliefs of the self. Whatever thought comes up that has a little bit of a diminishing about the beauty of your being in this world, don't believe it for a second. That's quite a lot that goes right there onto the trash heap of unnecessary thoughts and feelings. So indeed, when these positive mind states are unveiled, they flourish and want to be shared. Love can only be love when it wishes to be shared. Joy wants to be shared. Happiness wishes to be shared. Always, all these emotions wish to be given away. They don't want to be limited, confined to one mind. It's a good life purpose to bring consciousness into the world. And then it becomes our main life's purpose to bring loving awareness into this world, being the light of consciousness. Even if in these small expressions today, in our day to day, there is no small in this interconnectedness. So be the light of consciousness today, because that's the change that the world needs. And be discerning about the emotional viruses of the collective. Don't expose yourself unnecessarily on social media and to your own limiting beliefs. Because even if you have this awareness with you, there's no need to expose yourself more than necessary to viruses. Be discerning where your light is shining. And then, on behalf of all beings, thank you so much for your beautiful service to the world. In gratitude for a long lineage of loving wisdom. Gewa diyi nyurdu dak topechempo drup gyurnye dowa chikyang malupa de sala gopar shok. Through this virtue may we swiftly realize and fully embody the natural great perfection, and ever bring all without exception to its complete realization. Jangchup Semchok Rinpoche, Makyepanang Kyegyurchik, Kyepanyam me Pahadyang, Gongne Gongdu Pelwa Shuk. May the pure, brilliant sun of bodhicitta dawn in each and every heart and mind, dispelling the darkness of suffering and confusion unstoppably until all are illumined and awakened. May all beings everywhere with whom we are inseparably interconnected and who want and need the same as we do, may all be awakened, liberated, healed, fulfilled, free, and happy. May there be peace in this world and throughout all possible universes. An end to war, violence, poverty, injustice, and oppression. And may we all together complete the spiritual journey, heart to heart, all the way home. Love you very much. So, if you have to go, have a beautiful day. And if you wish to stick around a bit and share a bit on how your life is unfolding in this beautiful light of presence, or maybe some limiting beliefs you wish to share. Otherwise, we be back maybe tomorrow. Carol and Mel will be here tomorrow, and Pete will be here on Friday, and Tina on Saturday. Not sure yet about next week. Maybe Vicky on Monday and Debbie on Tuesday. Thank you, Debbie, for all you do for us. So, is anything coming up from our practice today, or your practice through the week? Or it's not a small thing when you share. Really, it's even when you think it's a limiting belief. You're not the only one. Bye, Wendy.
Bye. Excuse me. Bye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, I raised my hand.
Hi.
Oh, okay. Yeah, real quick. I hesitate to even share, but I mean, it was good to join last night, and discuss and everything. And I had kind of a lucid dream where there was like a crystalline rock with like the rainbow colors in it that were kind of shining, the loci of the different colors of the rock, and that was about like 6 a.m. But before that, and I've had like a couple of dreams that were like full length movies. And I've never done that before. And I don't remember them that well. But one was that, and I don't play hockey. I'm a West Coast guy, and but I watch basketball or football or mainly. But anyway, so there was a hockey player, and he was a professional, and he got badly hurt, but he was being kind of being victimized by for like like a cruel owner of the hockey and just emotionally and otherwise just being ill treated in the whole family, and because they were all tied in together. And then at the very end, they found a little clause, or a lawyer did, in the contract where they could just be gone, and just be free. And, and then I saw these dishes that were like clean, that were and they left, the whole family left. And they basically were the whole hockey team. So this cruel owner now didn't have this hockey team to victimize anymore. And they went on their happy way, So, and it was like a movie, and that's what I remember of it. It was like and anyway, so that's like a good thing. I mean, that's like really positive and everything. But I was sharing, also that another one of Roger's expressions was, man's extremity is God's opportunity. And that does seem the case, and I was sharing about that last night, not using that phrase, but sometimes when we sometimes we really have to be against a wall or something before we kind of let go, drop the rock, and then we go, oh, why did I indulge that? Not the beautiful rock, but the ugly rock, why did I do that my whole life or something, and that's kind of, sometimes I guess I may have sounded a bit negative or whatever, scary last night, but anyway, I wanted to add that. So anyway, that's all I had to say, kind of like check in. Okay.
No, wait, don't go. So you said it was somewhat of a lucid dream. Can you kind of say a little bit
Well,
more?
I had, I
It-
woke up about, my cat will wake me up, or I'll go to the bathroom. I think it was like 3:40 in the morning that when I woke up, I remember the dream about the hockey team thing, family. And then I went back to bed, and, I felt good, and I felt fairly rested. I'm tired this morning, but, and then like at 6 a.m., I was kind of half asleep. And that's when I had sort of the image of the rock, the beautiful, like crystalline rock with all the rainbow colors in it. Another thing, I'm going on here, but another thing that happened was, I was visiting my sister, and we went to this like Chinese cultural event, a friend of hers, and then there was Chinese food and Chinese dancing, and it was really nice. But I'm thinking in my mind, I said, am I this sort of schlub Joe six pack that my life is just going to be, all these activities that really don't mean anything, even though, I mean, there's nothing wrong with a Chinese cultural event compared to other things one could do. And then I thought, you know what? It's that, it's all a matter of, it's not what you do, but the attitude you do it with, or as they say in the Course of Miracles, or as it's interpreted, it's who you do it with. Do you do it with the Holy Spirit, or do you do it with the ego? So it occurred to me that, chop wood, carry water, all these mundane, quote unquote, activities, if you do them with the proper attitude, they are enlightened activity. There's nothing else, there's nothing is better or more significant, than anything else, it seemed to me. And I go, oh, that's it, And then one other quick thing is one of my teacher I mentioned sometimes, Roger, he talked about some Rinpoche, one of the great saints of Tibet. I don't know which one it was, but maybe you do. But he wanted to get enlightened, and he said, and then the master died, the guru died, and he said, well, I guess I just didn't make it. And then he looked out over this array of thousands of monks that he was in charge of, and he said, well, I guess I'm the man. He said, maybe I have, maybe I did it after all, because he was the head teacher of all these monks, even though he thought, well, I missed enlightenment or Buddhahood or something, so so that's another thing. It's like, maybe I'm, not me, but I mean, maybe any of us are more in a position of teaching and leadership and so on than we think we are, or something like that. Anyway, so I've gone on quite a bit, but those are things that have been happening with me. Okay.
Thank you, Edward. Yeah, so whatever arises in our awareness, in our space of being, is the perfect expression of primordial wisdom for the benefit of our awakening and those around us, which is all beings, which includes indeed the mundane. And so, yeah, I'm glad you have some lucid experiences in your dream. Go meditate in your dream.
Thank you.
Thank you, Edward. Any other day or night dreams?
No.
Hey, Bonnie.
Hi. No dreams, but this morning's guidance was excuse me. I don't know if I can make my voice work right now. So the idea that you were the guidance you were giving about peripheral vision. So the whole guidance was really helpful. And but I noticed
hear
that,
you clearly. So
can you
don't
hear me?
worry about
Okay.
your voice.
So using that peripheral vision and just seeing lights and colors, seeing images rather than particular things. It feels like I'm straining. It's really hard to relax into that. There's a strain to hold that peripheral vision. And so I think what I was thinking was I'd like to listen to that, and have access to your guidance this morning. It was really, I think it would be really helpful to hear that over and have access to that.
I will put it. I will put it on YouTube also. But yeah, so the strain, that's important. See, it's so important you share that, because that's what I experienced at first too, and others are too. So that's because you may be kind of just starting it a little bit. So it is like all at once, and then it doesn't go out of focus. It's like weird, because usually we think about folk, of course, it doesn't get kind of like soft and blurry. So it's like it's bright and present, and then you kind of rest. So I think for now, I think you just have to do that gaze some more, and let's see if you do it for a week. We can talk about it again, one-on-one or next week here in this space, because. I remember, now you mentioned that, I remember I felt a little like you're kind of holding on to it, which is okay at first. You're establishing something, right? So a little bit of, okay, I know it's the non-meditation, the non-effort path and all that, but sometimes we have to build a little muscle on something to be able to coast, right? So ease arises from practice. So maybe a little bit of that strain is practice, but obviously we're not looking for strain. So you're going to navigate that. You're going to relax in it and see, when you relax the gaze, if you can still keep it, really present and all at once, right? And then you can start walking around through your life that way. Now, of course, in a moment of of exchange when you are being skillful in your loving means, then now I'm looking in somebody's eyes for a moment, right? But when I'm walking on my trail in the mountains, I drop into my all at onceness, right? So and it starts kind of, even the gaze starts waking up to itself by itself. It's just like now you start realizing, oh, this is such a more relaxed space to be in. So see if you can relax the gaze somehow. But I think I don't feel any concern about you feeling a bit of strain there. If it's still there, if you have done it a lot, then we can talk about it. And then at some point, the all at onceness visual gaze becomes a metaphor for the all at onceness of the experience of mind. Not particularizing there either, staying with the ground perspective while allowing the appearance perspective to dance. Bye.
Hello,
Oh, it's a hello. I thought it was a goodbye.
hello, hello.
Hello, hello. Hi, Lisa.
Can anyone hear me?
We can all hear you clearly.
Actually, it is a hello. Yes. So I just wanted to share this morning. Okay, good, good. This has been so interesting. I'm a library trustee in town, and it's really, I just got an email, and it's so interesting to watch my mind respond. So my very first inclination was like, I don't need this. I just need to resign. It's like, what in the world? So we just have a new chairperson who has never been a chair before of anything. And he's doing his best. And I know that, I understand that. But at the same time, it's like, what in the world what's going on here? So again, my first thing was, oh, it's just easy if I just resign. Like this, I really don't need to be dealing with this. And then I'm watching my mind, and then I write an email and I'm watching it. I'm like, no, don't send that. Then I write another email and don't send that one. And I'm like, okay, let's see. Why am I on this board? And why do the other library employees want me to remain on this board? And it really is so informative of being open to the difficulties of these situations, and why am I doing this, and changing what I possibly can change, but doing so skillfully, while there's also the I involved. So it's like I need to push the I, like just me, like my initial responses. Oh, like, whoa, that's interesting. That's really interesting. Yes, I could just walk away. But in the terms of the bodhisattva realm, I'm like, okay, no, this is what it's kind of, no, there's another way of doing things. So today's meditation was really, really interesting and fun for me, because I was knowing there was another way of going and thinking, but it just helped me clarify some some things about what I would need to be in terms of being open again. I felt like I was closing down a little bit. So I like to thank everyone who is here. And so I'll stay on the board and we'll just not be so attached to outcomes, and at the same time have some difficult conversations in the future with some of my other board members. But sometimes you have to confront the difficulties too. So, but thank you all for being here.
Thank you, Lisa. So yeah, that's when we show up in spaces as yogis and we have this, loving, open awareness presence in it. You're quite possibly the only one in that space, since we're only like 1% of the world knows that we are not our thoughts, feelings, and emotions and perceptions. So then you discern like, I have in the world I only have so much time to express my skillful means. Is this the perfect place? Is this the best place for me to be right now? Usually any place we are is the best place in that moment, but you can look into it. And then you're saying, okay, so now I'm bringing more of my awareness into this space. And then there it already was. You didn't allow the ego to arise and you didn't send that email, right? So that was already, a very beautiful healing thing for you and those that around you. So yeah, so you stay there, and you be their healing light there, and make sure that all people read beautiful books, however that happens for you. But so yeah, is that a good place for you to stay? You know best, and wherever you stay is where you shine your heart lovingly, as you did, as you were already telling us that you were really discerning about how you were expressing yourself in that space. So great. Thank you for sharing.
No, I got a follow up for that. Lisa, that was beautiful.
Hey,
See,
Glenda.
she's mastering her mind. She's not letting ego mind. Now, I usually can kind of hear ego in a phrase, but starting about 4 weeks ago, I can hear it just talking sentences. And I'm going, wow, that sucker's just talking sentences. And because I've leaned back enough, paused enough, and I went, wow, that thing's not just talking phrases. No wonder it runs roughshod, the endless what's a windmill of mind, thought, think, feeling. But that's why I love this meditation, learning to let thoughts come and go. And as I heard those sentences, I kind of laughed and went, hey, and just let that go. Because I didn't need to do anything. Lisa has to kind of consider about her board. I didn't need to do anything about what it was talking about. I wasn't in urgent need of anything. No physical harm, none of that stuff. But that can let go and then recognize what was ego wanting to do. And typically it wants to cling on something. It wants to attach on something. And if I'm not careful, I might agree with it and go off with it. So but be able to watch it out there wanting to cling and what it was desiring, it's like, wow, just let it go. So Timo, thank you for this meditation. Without this sky gazing Dzogchen meditation, I would not be able to let thoughts come and go in meditation. And then when I'm walking around, let them go. I mean, really. So knock on wood, I can let them go right now.
Well, quite a bit of the mission accomplished, because you realize that most people don't know they're thinking.
No, they don't know who's running them. And I would be instantly agreeing with it. A Course in Miracles teaches that you're never making a decision by yourself, but I never really got that till in the last few months, but we're just our awareness. We're Christ, Buddha presence, God presence. And I can just allow these thoughts and feelings to go. But if I go out there and grab onto them, then I made them. I agreed with them, and then my actions are motivated by whatever I'm motivated for, clinging or aversion. Wow, that is a sneaky little bastard, that ego, just but it's all the time going. It's all the time going. But anyway, whew.
That's why I said in the beginning something about allowing, well, the ego in this case, to really realize what the sweet intent of the ego is. It really wishes to help. It really wishes to excel, even when it kind of goes into that dictatorial referee space, like not good enough. And it's like, it's basically coming all from love also. It's all originating. It just gets kind of morphed into limiting beliefs. And the limiting beliefs are still the expression of love. I mean, every thought is a beacon of light, light bearer. You know that. So,
Well,
and light, no other than love. So, and then it's like, yeah. And then when we let it, um, run wild, then it starts getting more and more limiting beliefs with this tendency for negative bias. And then before we know it, we're all stuck in the Ukraine, right? But in the meantime, we know, you knowingly are aware of your thoughts. So that's the first step. That's the first step into the healing of the world, is no longer identifying with the content. So beautiful, beautiful report.
thank you.
Yeah. And then and then even like the little judgmental, oh, that, I don't know what you just said, the crappy little ego or whatever. Whatever. The sweet little ego, right? Yeah.
Well, I'm just going to let it be. I'm going to leave it as it is.
No,
And let it be.
shining the healing light of awareness on it, then will the ego, then the stream of thoughts, which is the ego is just a stream of thoughts, then
Yes.
starts losing its limiting beliefs, and then there is a flourishing of positive mind states that more and more start to arise. And we all know that because we all keep
Yes.
back to this space, because we go like, oh yeah, more goodness is arising more freely.
Yes. Yes, the root of duality gets cut naturally. I don't have to go out there and kill anything. It's naturally cut. Oh man. But without meditation, I got people that go, oh, I can't meditate. Well, you don't try, you won't know if you can.
That right there, that's where the block is. That phrase, I can't meditate. All right.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Well, then that means you're letting your mind run your house,
Yeah.
whatever. Whatever. I just do what I can. Thanks you, everybody. Thank you.
That was sad for me to hear when my mother often used to say that. It's like, I can't pray and I can't meditate. And I would go, her.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I get stuck. I look back on my life, I'd be stuck. Meditation unstuck. And then I had to be careful to be settled in peace, get stuck in peace versus spontaneity. But yeah, oh yeah, but wow. Oh wow, meditation.
And then realizing that all those arisings ultimately are originating from peace, even though they have.
Oh yes. Oh yes, from the creative energy, God energy, you bet.
There you
Yeah,
go. Yeah.
right.
So
Yeah.
wasn't that a good phrase that I heard from Rupert Spira? When the journey to God ends, the journey in God begins.
Yes.
That's our
Yes.
practice, really. I mean, you have to be careful because most people go, "You saying the God word," but you know how I'm using it, so it's all good.
Yeah. The journey in God. Yeah. It developing a relationship. What happens? A relationship.
No, no.
Yeah.
When you like living your life today in the shining light of loving awareness, then you're traveling through your day within God, right? It's just like
Yes.
it's just that shift. It's like, oh,
Yes.
now I'm loving, and now I'm limiting beliefs. It's like, pop, pop. It's just like it's that little bit, It's just like right there. So here's world peace, and here's the Ukraine. It's just like that's all it is.
It's a thought away. Yeah. Oh gosh, thanks. Thanks, Demo, for everything. Thank you, everybody.
Are we doing one more? Anybody's something coming up, or you want to go to your day? Jesse, you good? Picking on you.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. I've been taking a class on mindfulness and interpersonal communication, like cultivating wise speech.
Mhm.
That's been cool, but I find myself clamming up a little bit more now. I'm trying to actively listen.
Yeah, right. So how is that course going?
It's great. It's with Oren J. Soffer. I was gonna say to Lisa, maybe it's his book, so maybe it's in the library, called Say What You Mean, a mindful approach to nonviolent communication. And it's so practical, and it just makes communicating really compassionately and finding a lot of understanding with others so much more accessible. And it's pretty cool.
Ah, thank you. What's the book called?
Say What You Mean.
Say What You Mean. Okay.
And the course is through Insight meditation. So it's an online thing, but yeah, I'm still processing.
Good. Keep processing. The process is your life. All right, all lovey ones. Thank you for being with us. Have a beautiful day. Be with you soon. Come and play with Mel and Carol tomorrow. And take care. Bye-bye.